Now, you're probably thinking, wow, that's so simple. All I have to do is remove the last two letters and replace it with either an E with an accent, an I, or a U. And surely this applies to all verbs in French. Well, it doesn't, because there are always exceptions in language, and French is no exception to that exception. So there are loads of verbs that do not respect this rule. Now, let me just show you some of them. For example, the verb boire, the verb to drink, which is quite a common verb, and the verb faire. Let's just take these two. Now, if we were to apply the rules that we've just learned, what would these past participles look like? Right? You could pause the video and try to figure that out, but this is what they would look like. We have boire. Now we know that boire ends with re. So what do we do when a verb ends with re? To turn it into a past participle, well, we remove the re and we replace it with a u. So boire would become boiu. Okay? If we applied the regular rules. What about faire? Again, ends with re. We would replace that with a u, so it would become feiu. Okay, I mean, these are quite difficult to say, and you can see vowel, 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 triple vowels. So this is one of the reasons why these are irregular verbs, partly because it's just kind of uneasy to say. So what are the past participles of the verb boire and the verb faire? Well, there's no formula for this because they don't follow a rule. They are irregular. So the past participle for the verb boire is just bu, so bu. So it's kind of, you see what we've done there. We've removed the O and the I and we're left with these, okay? What about faire? Is it feu? No, it's fait. Okay? Completely different. Why have we got a T? Well, there's no reason. You don't need to know why we have a T, but we have a T. Now, a lot of verbs are irregular in French. And this now begs the question, do I need to learn all irregular verbs? No, you don't need to learn all irregular verbs. All you need to do for the IGCSE is you need to think about, okay, what am I going to write about? What are the topics in the IGCSE, right? Or whatever your exam is. What are the topics? Okay, I know I need to be able to talk about myself. I know I need to be able to talk about my family. I know I need to be able to talk about what hobbies I do. I know I need to be able to talk about what job I want to do in the future. So just think about what you need to say and then what verbs come up, right? What verbs do you use? It's very unlikely that when you're speaking to someone in very limited French, basic French, you're going to be using the verb to scaffold, right? I mean, that verb is just never going to come up. The verb go, on the other hand, you're going to use that a lot, right? I went to Spain. Or the verb eat. Oh, I'm going to eat a sandwich. Or the verb drink. Oh, I drank too much wine last night. So there are certain verbs that are more frequent than others. And what I'd recommend you do is you just look up verbs that you think you might use. There are also lists online, what are the most frequently used verbs in French? Just look it up, find some that you think, well, I'll use that, I won't use that. And then look up their past participles, right? All you have to type into Google is you take any verb, like, let's think of another irregular one, like voir, to see. Now, again, the past participle of this is vu. Okay, it's very similar to this, boire, voir, bu, vu. But if you don't know that, you just look it up. Type into Google voir past participle, and it will tell you that it is vu. Okay, so you don't need to memorize all irregular verbs, but just know that they exist, and that if you think you're going to use that verb or say something with that action, then you need to look up the past participle.